So here we are with the final part of the UV mapping tutorials. So we have a jacket here, not very many polygons, just building up this shape. The collar is a separate object, although they're both attached, it's not welded in any way to the main jacket. So when we're approaching something like this, the best way to think about it is to break it into separate parts. So for example, well, it's easier with something like a jacket or any kind of clothing because it has natural seams in this. So you know, a panel maybe cut down the back, and then to the side you may have a panel here, you may have a panel kind of here, so seams around the center, maybe seam around the back, a seam around separating the sleeve, effectively in this case. We need a cut somewhere down the sleeve. Now, depending how we're working with this, if we're actually creating a seam physically down here, well, not physically, but with a texture, if we're creating a seam down here, you could break it and hide this. If the model was, or the UV map was broken at this point, because these points may not match up in terms of the way it's brought out of the UV editor itself. Most people would prefer to hide the seams, so somewhere underneath the arms is usually a good place, and that's arms, sleeves, arms, and also arms are for the human body as well. The colour, as I say, is separated. We'll get to that later. So there's a few approaches to this. We could actually start breaking this down bit by bit and go into it this way. Let's look at more of an easier approach to this. So the first thing I need to do is actually grab the polygons of the jacket. So let's just go into our right-click face. I can use the shortcut Shift and the more than key just to go up on this. I'll just go up that far. From here I just need to, I'm going to go into my selection mode over here. Let's just shift click and carry on. My selection looks like I've got on, so control click, remember to deselect. Just look on the inside there. Okay, that looks like all of them. I'm going to go in to create UVs. I'm actually going to do, strangely, a spherical map. Okay, so the spherical map, you see it's not done too bad a job of this. The main problem is actually where it's cutting the mesh, or where it's putting the seam in the mesh. So right now it's putting the seam down the center, down here. It's logical with this kind of thing because we've got this gap here to put the seam here. So essentially we're unfolding this entire shape out to a flat surface. So we can do this just by rotating the seam, and in fact let me just undo this. I'm going to bring in the UV editor, which is UV texture editor. So you can see this right now. We're going to cut right down the back of this object. We want one down here instead. So by rotating this round, you see it actually start to change by dragging it the whole way around. Oops. By dragging it the whole way around, we actually get that seam down both these sides, and it's connected in the middle. I'm just going to go in and set this properly. We can just see over here in our attribute editor, this is 172.229, which is on the Y rotation. Let's go in and set that to 180, just to be a bit precise about that. Oops, let's get that. And what I'm going to do is convert this to UV. So Control right click to UVs. I'm going to move these out of the way. There are a few things we can do with this at this point. Let's just have a look at this. We could go in and we could just go into this polygon menu. I'm just going to go in and go to relax. So relax, let me just show you this. Let's just undo this. So this is what relax does. It evens out the polygon shapes. That was before. So before, and let's do relax. You see, it just brings them out a bit more. Just relaxes the shape. We could also try, and in some circumstances this works, the unfold. What the unfold does is try to actually create the original polygon distribution of your object. So you can see right here on this object, this is a larger polygon, we've got this size polygon, this one kind of representing this, and they're all the right size. Now this doesn't always work, and a lot of time what you've got to do is prepare for the unfold before you do it. Often this is just doing another kind of mapping, like cylindrical mapping, planar mapping, whichever kind, just to give it some UV coordinates first of all, and then go in and try and unfold. There are more options to the unfold as well, but that's probably for another tutorial. So what I'm going to do is just bring these round. I'm going to rotate these round, just so I get quite a flat seam on this. Okay. If it gets stuck, sometimes gets stuck in the UV mode on this selection, just right click and go to another selection mode, and then you can go in and you can see that again. Okay. I may just straighten this center line up. Let's go in and get our, in fact, edges. Shift clicking on these. We should be able to just go up and not doing it there. Well, oh, sorry. Let's try UVs instead. There you go. Just straighten those UVs up there, just around the center point a bit more. I'll leave this to one side for now, and we've got the other parts to concentrate on. So within this, I'm just going to go into face selection, select everything in the middle now, and then I'm just going to control deselect all but one of the sleeves. Make sure I've got all of that. Again, a couple of options that we can do with this. I'm going to try doing a cylindrical unwrap on this. So with this on one side, this is just all the individual parts. I broke it apart. Let's just go and create UVs. Let's try cylindrical mapping. Let's make this a little bit smaller, even though bring the shape down. So there's a couple of things I want to do in terms of the rotation of this. First of all, I want it to be the same angle as the arm. This is okay if the arm was pointing completely downwards or for a leg, but in this circumstance I want to rotate this round. So we're essentially wanting to rotate this round on the Z axis. So just going to my rotate, I'm just going to set this to around 32 degrees. Roughly around that, okay. Just to angle that at the right angle. I also want to rotate this around our which is going to be our x-axis, I presume. Oh, sorry, our y-axis on this. And what I want to do with this is rotate this round. I'm just looking where the cut is right now. It's just sort of, this is where the arm comes in, or the sleeve connects. This is going around this. So I want to bring this around to kind of where would it be, in the center of the sleeve? It's a bit tricky grabbing this. Let's just see what I've got on my wire rotation here. Let's try, that might be better actually. Just try 90, so just flipping this round 90 degrees. So I'm keeping the seam down the center of this. I just need to go a little bit more here. This part is sticking out. I want to go a little more this way. Around there. So that is giving us a seam right down the center of the arm underneath this on the sleeve, which is a much better position for us. Let's press W just to go out of that. Let's control right click to go to UVs, and we have that. Okay. We just need to work on the shape of this. You can see these UVs at the minute. Just need to scale this probably down a little bit. We could try to do an unfold on this. It makes it a little bit messy actually. But what I may do on this is relax. Maybe not. Maybe not actually. Kind of like it the way it is. Okay, I'll leave it like for now. We do need to scale the whole thing down now to approximate it to the squares on the body as well. And there are a few points over here as well where we have overlapping points. And then you can see around there, it kind of twists around on itself, and that can be an issue. A good way to see this is just going to go into Images, Shade UVs, and anywhere that's a kind of a red area, red to purple area is a problem area. So let's just go into my UVs here. Let's grab this and let's just bring it out a little bit. Let's just grab this one and bring this out, and that just fixes a problem. Okay. We could do exactly the same on the other sleeve as well, but I won't show that just for time's sake. Let's just go in and grab the collar shell. Let's just to UVs. Let's just drag the collar part out. So the collar is actually split into two separate parts, and this was an automatic unwrap that I did with this, and this has actually done quite a nice job of dealing with this. What we've got in here is the top part and the bottom part. We've got a few points missing on this. We've got a few points where it needs reconnecting in. But this could be a good starting point actually for us. So let's just go into our edge mode and let's just get these two edges. What I may do actually is select these two. And first of all I'm going to go into Polygon and Move and Sew Edges, just to connect these together. So I've got only one seam on this, just around the back. Where, one connection on this where there's no seam on this. Let's go and find some of our other points on this. Just trying to work out where some of these points go. Here we can see. Just down this side we have our connected points. So let's shift select these edges, and let's just grab this and move and so. We have a few points, problem areas. Showing UVs. Okay, still I seem to have some missing points on this. I don't know if these are still within the arm area somewhere. Let's just select these. See if we can work out where this polygon is. So it seems to be this one here that's missing. See if we can get this to UVs. Just trying to find out where this point is here, which seems to be this point down here actually. So let's go in and grab these UVs here. I think that's all of them. Let's just see if we can bring these points up. Just rotate these round. Okay. So I think these points actually connecting to these points here. So let's just go in to our edge mode. Let's grab these. This has smoothing on, by the way. This is why we're getting some of this weird distortion on this. These first connect. Edge, let's grab this one, merge and move and so. Same with this side, let's grab these two, let's do move and so. Okay, we must have another part at this point, so let's just grab this face. Seems to be out underneath face, we have this double-sided. Let's just grab that one. Go into our UV selection, and there we have it. So again, it seems to be these 2 points here. So let's grab this and actually go into UVs. Grab these points. Remember to do a Control Shift just to make sure I'm adding to the selection rather than taking away. And I think these points just need rotating round. Make it easy to visualize. And let's grab edges. Maybe not that one. Let's try this. Okay. Let's just control click off this. That one. Grab these. And let's just do the same. Move and so UV edges. And you just carry on until you've got all the other points. I think there's some other points down here missing. You can go into your face mode, work out where these are, grab those points, move and sew them, and carry on until you're all finished. So you can see some of the points underneath here are actually still on the sleeve mode. But it's easy enough to fix and go through. I'm just conscious of time, so I'll finish off the tutorial here. Obviously, when you finish, again, everything needs to be brought down into this level here. But that's just a case of bringing all the individual parts down, making sure they're all scaled relative to each other, so the sleeve isn't twice the size of the jacket itself. If you use your checkerboard, you can kind of get an assumption, an approximation of that, just matching up the checkers equally across the surface. Okay, so I'll finish this tutorial here, and that's the end of the unwrapping tutorial.